one.
Hi, this is Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, my special guest is real estate veteran Bill Watson. Bill, how are you doing today?
Craig, I'm doing awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Hey, Bill, you've been with me a long time. Bill is in the Denver, Colorado area, Aurora, Colorado, to be exact. Bill, how long have you been doing this for?
So, Craig, I started real estate back in '84. So I've been at this now for 37 years.
All right. So all that time in real estate, you must know everything by now.
Yeah. Well, I only know what I know today. It's interesting, because we did pretty well in real estate from '84. I started out in the new home industry. I've been the VP of sales and marketing for a couple builders. I've run real estate companies, and you and I originally met, Craig, unofficially in 1998 through a fax machine, through your marketing in a box. So that was in the previous century, by the way.
Right. That's cool. So you were marketing and selling for builders. And when did you make the decision to get more into residential real estate?
So we did that in 2004. And so January 1st, 2005, we moved everything over to, at that time, Remax. And I actually immediately then called your office and said I wanted to start coaching. And they said I had to come to a conference. So I got to the next conference. Right. And
we have standards here, Bill. We just don't let anybody into coaching. You got to come to the conference, and we got to give you a good orientation. So what year was that you came to your first conference?
2005.
2005. Awesome. Okay. Now let's talk about what your business looks like today, because you work with your sons. You've got this thriving real estate business. Give us some numbers, like how it works and how it works for you personally, not just financially, how that's changed over the years.
Oh, it's changed dramatically. Just real quick, Craig, when I started coaching, my first year was a couple $100,000 in GCI. The next year was 506,000.
That's a quantum leap.
Yeah, that is a quantum leap. Now we're a company that's over $1 million a year GCI. Both of my sons got into the business by their own direction. They wanted to come and join in. Now they're both strong 6-figure guys. And so that has been the impetus behind our business as it's been moving forward. And what's great about it now is, I'm not going on appointments anymore. I'm not working with buyers really that much at all. Really. I am.
So what's your role? You've delegated the working with buyers and sellers to your team. So yep. What does Bill Watson focus on all day?
Business development, marketing, lead generation. So
okay. I business development, lead generation,
and marketing.
Marketing. Okay. Tell me when you started with us, what were you doing to get business back then? Before, prior to Craig Proctor, how were you getting your leads? How were you getting business?
Well, I really didn't have an understanding of lead gen. I did represent a number of small and medium-sized builders, so I had product to sell, and we were doing that and picking up buyers from that. Other than that, is just working referrals, sphere, database and things.
So basically, you had the builders, you had the relationship with the builders, yep. And then you've been doing it for a long time. So you had your sphere of influence, yet you were getting some referrals. Okay, so you joined the Craig Proctor system, and we introduce you to abundance and lead generation and direct response marketing. What happened to you in the first couple of years? What kind of stuff did you start to implement and change?
Well, keep in mind, 2005, we were doing some online, and believe it or not, that was Craigslist. But we were generating a lot of leads from Craigslist. I mean, we were generating, 300-400 leads a month from Craigslist. But we were also doing a lot of what we're going to talk about today, and that's the offline marketing with direct mail pieces, full page advertising, Craig, when we could get remnant space and everything else. You taught me all about that. And the biggest thing was our USPs. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it. So we came.
Tell us about that. Repeat that again. Your big unique selling proposition, and go ahead, scare. You can scare everybody watching this who is unaware of how you do this, and we can talk about some of the misconceptions. So, what is the thing that you're known for in Aurora, Colorado, that sets you apart from all the other realtors?
We'll get your home sold, or we'll buy it.
That's guaranteed sale program. We'll sell your home, or we'll buy it. What did you think of that when I first introduced you to offering a guaranteed sale program? What were your initial thoughts?
Well, I will tell you, Craig, I might be different than a lot of people, but I got so juiced about it that before I left my first conference, we had a newspaper, the Rocky Mountain News out here that no longer exists. I already had a full page ad created exactly the way you created yours. You showed us that at the conference,
right?
And ready to go. And here's what I knew. I knew that I was in control of my unique selling proposition. So I wasn't worried about having to buy houses.
Right. Misconceptions. What are the misconceptions that real estate agents have? The public loves it, of course, and that's why all these iBuyer companies are so successful. That's why we have Open Door and OfferPad and Zillow Offers. It's not because people don't want it. This is what the public wants. They want certainty. So, I've always done well as a realtor when I focus on what it is that buyers and sellers want. Now, some of my competitors were not sure about this. Realtors, when they first hear about it, think, well, this is some super risky proposition, or they think, well, maybe this is a bait and switch. But no, we really actually buy the home if we can't sell it. The secret is to sell the property so you don't have to buy it. And that's what you're an expert at. So there are some rules or conditions to these guarantees. What are your rules or what are the conditions if I was a prospect and I called you off one of your signs or direct mail pieces that says, if Bill doesn't sell your home, you'll buy it. How would you explain that to me as a prospect?
Well, it's really quite simple. Myself and the seller need to agree on price and terms. And those price and terms, we just have to agree on the value. We have to agree on the time frame, and we have to agree on the commission being paid. And if all of those things line up, then we will guarantee their sale. And if not, we will go ahead and buy it.
Cool. Hey, Faith, I don't know if you can hear me, but are we able to pull up some of Bill's marketing examples? Faith is our moderator. I don't know if we can do this live or not. She wasn't expecting me to do this, but Bill has been kind enough to forward me some bonus items here that you folks are going to be able to download these. Okay, so we'll take you through these. These are marketing pieces that Bill Watson in Aurora, Colorado uses right now in his business to set himself apart from the other realtors. So how this will work is at the end of my interview, we'll make a link available in the comments, and you can look at what Bill's doing, and we'll try to do a good job of explaining why it's working so well. So this is direct response marketing. This is what it looks like to make a killer offer. Okay, look at this one here. Your home sold at 102% of the asking price, guaranteed, or we'll pay you the difference. So, that one doesn't involve buying houses, but it's a wonderful guarantee, especially if you're in a really hot market where homes are selling for the full asking price or more anyway. But the condition always is that you and the seller have to agree on what market value is. Thanks. You can take that away now, Faith. But that's the conversation, Bill, that we have with every seller. With every seller we meet with, we have to agree on what market value is. Yes. So you've got all these unique offers that generate leads, that set you apart from all the other realtors. So you're using this to get the phone call from the buyer and the seller in the beginning, but also when you meet with buyers and sellers, you've got a really awesome listing presentation and buyer presentation that completely separates you from all the other realtors, makes it obvious to the prospect why they should choose to do business with you versus anyone else. And not only does the seller say, hey, Bill, I want to list with you versus the other 2 or 3 realtors that we met with, you've actually got more authority. You can get the price right. And of course, you can protect your fee. And I know in many cases, Bill, you're charging a higher fee than the other realtors that the seller met with. So that's pretty amazing to not only win the business, but get that listing at a better list price and a higher commission.
No, you know what? It absolutely is, because, and here's the thing, Craig. One thing, is it better to be better, or is it better to be different? That's and we're always better. We always work on becoming better, but there's a lot of noise out in the marketplace. And so we have to be different. And, when we think about like the unique selling proposition, your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it, we have fun with this, because when we talk to sellers, We just simply look them in the eye and say, the interesting thing is Zillow and everybody else copied us. I've been doing this since 2005.
It's true.
So we do.
Basically, the guaranteed sale program has been taken to Wall Street. And, gazillions of dollars now from Wall Street are going into real estate. And with some of these iBuyer companies, they're not even selling the houses. They're just buying the houses and holding on to them. And so it's pretty convenient for a seller when they can go to a website, type their address in and get an offer. Now, the benefit of the Craig Proctor Guaranteed Sale Program, though, is, Bill, your sellers get the benefit of the highest price. So you're giving them an upfront written guarantee that you'll buy their home within 120 days at the pre-agreed price in writing. But you're also marketing that property to outside buyers during that 120 days. So your sellers get the benefit of the highest price, whether it's your upfront written guarantee or a superior offer from an outside buyer. So in this respect, the Bill Watson Guaranteed Home Selling Program is much better than any iBuyer company, in my opinion, because the seller is always going to get the highest price.
Well, and that's right, Craig. So especially in a market, and all of us are in these markets right now where we're experiencing multiple offers and things of that nature. So the real conversation with the seller was, look, do you want to just take one offer? Or do you want to go to the market and get several offers?
Get abundance, get multiple offers.
Yeah, and then we've got the safety net in the back end in the unlikely event that your home doesn't sell. Understand that after we leave here today, your home is sold.
Yeah, one way or the other.
What you want to do is maximize your equity.
Okay, so let us know in the comments if you've heard about the guaranteed sale program before. Maybe you're officially freaked out, or some realtors have this negative attitude. Oh, it's a bait and switch. Look, folks, the job of good marketing is to get people that want to buy and sell real estate to contact you. I mean, if you want to talk about bait and switch, I could argue, Bill, that every time a realtor hammers a for sale sign on the front lawn, or they run an ad promoting one of their listings, we could argue that's bait and switch, because we all know as realtors that the vast majority of ad calls and sign calls you get, once the buyer gets all the information on the property, it's not the right home for them, right? They tell you it's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location. So as a realtor, what do? You say, well, if that one's not the right one for you, I know about some other homes that might be a good fit for you. And chances are those other homes that you tell the buyer about are not even one of your listings. So, we're in this instance, right, all over the country, real estate agents are advertising their listings to bait buyers into calling them. And when they find out that the buyer's not interested in their listing, they're switching the buyer to another property. So, we could argue that every realtor in the country is guilty of bait and switch. That's a bad attitude to have. Remember what we talked about earlier in the conversation is what Bill is offering in his marketing is what the consumers want. It doesn't matter what we think is realtors. The reason Bill is so super successful, the reason he sells hundreds of homes every year, is because he's offering what it is the buyers and sellers really, really want. Let's talk about buyers. So what would you offer buyers that would be unique, different than what they can either just find on their own or get through any other agent?
Yeah. Okay. That's a great point. If I can, and before we segue into this, Craig, I think it's important for the people out there to understand that the reason they call you is not always the reason they hire you.
That's true.
And so don't forget that point. And
but they're not going to hire you unless they call you, right? So the first step is getting them to call you.
The only way you're going to be more successful in this business, and Craig, you taught us this, was to start doing business with people you've never met before.
That's true. I realized that the point that Bill's making, when I got into real estate, I was 26 years old. My father was a realtor at the time, so for years. So anybody I knew would use my dad, not me. Cold calling, door knocking. Hey, I realized early on that if I wanted to be successful as a realtor, I had to figure out how to do business with strangers. Now, even though you've been in real estate for a long, long time, Bill, and even though you had those contacts with the builders and you had your, a fairly good sized sphere of influence, where most of your success and sales have come from is complete strangers, people that did not know Bill Watson or the Bill Watson family. And they picked up the phone and they said, hey, we see this or we see that. That's how you become really successful in real estate, is getting people that are super motivated contacting you. right? Strangers, not just people you know. You can't be limited just by people that are in your sphere of influence. So let's move to buyers now.
Yes.
So guaranteed sale program, I want to sell my house. And some people might think, well, right now, who is really worried about selling their home? Well, you could guarantee you're going to sell it for 100% of the asking price, assuming they take your advice on the asking price. There's many guarantees that we can make that will attract sellers without you having to guarantee the sale of the home. But let's switch to buyers now. If I'm a buyer, can I just go look at houses? I can just go to Zillow and look at the houses, or there's a gazillion real estate agents in the Denver area. They'll just set me up on daily emails, and I might have 4 different realtors emailing me properties. I might be on 8 different websites. So, why do I need you, Bill?
You need me because I'm going to provide real-time updates on homes you can't find on the internet. So you can go to Zillow, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, but keep in mind that in most cases, Zillow doesn't update their data very well. The talking point here, Craig, is the Zillow, the Redfins, the Realtor.coms, and what have you. These are lead generation companies. That is all they're designed to do, is generate leads, not provide relevant data to help you find the right home. That's number one. Number two is, if you work with us, we're not just interested in what pops into the MLS. Our goal is to help you as a buyer find a home where you're not having to compete with a number of other buyers in the marketplace with multiple offers. So we're just going to look at the market, and there's a number of places you can look at: expired listings, for sale by owners, and things of that nature. We have, Craig, in our database, we have over 5,000 sellers in waiting, right? And so we even can take our buyers and introduce them to all the people that have reached out to us over the years who are thinking about selling their home, to see now if they're interested in selling. We have a 72-hour rule. Look, we're not going to sit back and just wait for you to contact us. We're going to be contacting you when we find the right home that we think is going to meet your needs. So the value proposition is huge. And here's the next one. If you buy a home with us and within 12 months you hate it, we'll agree to resell your home and we will not charge you our commission. So as a buyer representative—
That's a really cool guarantee. Did everybody get that? If you're a buyer, you buy a home using Bill's services, if you're not thrilled with that house within 1 year, Bill will either buy it back or sell it for free. Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's a risk reversal. We show them that we're putting our money where our mouth is, and we are the only real estate company in the state of Colorado, and I know I can say this with the exception of the others that are in our group, that offer this Colorado protection plan.
And, that's important to buyers today because the market's been so frenzied. Buyers have to, make an immediate knee-jerk decision on a property. And let's face it, you really don't know if you love a home until you actually live in it. You don't know what the neighbors are like. And so how many of you would think, if you're a buyer, that's a pretty powerful guarantee that, Bill Watson isn't one of these agents that's just trying to sell me a house or jam me into a property. He's actually giving me an upfront guarantee that not only going to sell you a home, we're going to sell you the right house. And if you don't believe that's true, anytime within 18 months, we'll either sell it for free or we'll buy the home, provided the buyer, the prospect, then goes and buys another property with Bill that is the right fit. So that buyer protection plan is really unique, and it's just something buyers in Colorado can't find anywhere else. Well, and the list of buyers, I think that's also very powerful, Bill. Did you notice Bill's not saying to buyers, well, I'll tell you what we can do, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. We can just send you homes that you can find on your own. Right. That's what most realtors. Well, I will send you properties. Or a lot of agents today talk about representation. Well, you need me. You need representation. And hey, I'm not saying representation isn't important. I'm just saying on the buyer's pecking order, on their list of things that are important to them, number one thing is finding the right house. Right. That's why a lot of the buyers, their search begins online, not by calling a real estate agent. They want to, check things out, and they want to try to find their home on their own. So, Bill's is really different in the way he presents himself, because Bill, you're saying not only will we send you all the homes that are on MLS, we're also going to give you priority access to proprietary information. That's a mouthful, by the way. Priority access to proprietary information, including off-market properties, right? Including homes that are not on the market yet. And you have this huge database of sellers in waiting. So what Bill's able to say to a potential buyer is, hey, if you decide to work with me, the first thing I would do is email what you're looking for, like out to our buyers, our sellers in waiting database, and possibly find you a seller that hasn't got their home on the market at this point yet, which is great for the buyer because now they're not in multiple offers and they've got more time to react to these properties. So you truly are offering a lot to both buyers and sellers that other real estate agents aren't offering. So again, at the bottom below in the comments below, you're going to see a link, and you can download some of Bill's marketing examples just so you can see with your own eyes like how this thing works, and you can start to think about how you can differentiate yourself from other realtors in your marketplace. Now, once all this started working, let's switch gears here. Once this all started working, your business is growing, right? Your business is growing. What did you do the first year, the second year? Like, it keeps growing and growing, and you're doing this basically solo. You don't have a team in the beginning. And so at some point, you're like, I can't do this all myself. What happened at that point?
Ann and I have always been business partners, my wife, so she's always run admin and things like that. But then what we had to do is we had to start, what we did first was, because I couldn't handle all the clients, we brought in outside sales associates. And this was prior to Evan and Lance getting even into the business, to start handling.
So Evan and Lance are your sons. So you've always worked with your wife, Ann, and Ann was kind of the admin person, and you were like the solo agent out there. Correct. Doing everything from getting the keys cut to making the feature sheets to pounding the signs in the front lawn. And so now you get maxed out, and now you're hiring a couple of outside sales agents on your team.
Correct.
And what are you delegating in the beginning?
So what I started to delegate in the business in the beginning, first of all, we took a look at everything I was doing and figured out how much of it we could outsource, sign companies, runners, and things like that, so that $10 an hour, $15 an hour, whatever that is now in today's market, can be handled outside of that. So it took away from that. Then we expanded our role. We hired a gal by the name of Carol, who became our listing coordinator. We hired some outside sales associates to start handling the overflow of buyer leads. I still work the seller leads. And that's how we started to operate as we started to move forward. And then, I don't know, about 10, 12 years ago, Evan, at his high school graduation party, said, Dad, I want to get into real estate. So he got in. A couple of years later, Lance, my oldest son, said, I want to get in. And so now, though, our team, keep in mind, so our team is the three of us, but Ann still handles admin, office management, database. Ainsley
handles. So it's not a huge team. Like, for the production level that you do, you're pretty lean.
I think that we are. We outsource our transaction coordinating. We have a listing coordinator. We have a videographer that we use on a case-by-case basis. So a lot of the people that I have in place, and our creative director is a virtual assistant, Joe Alvarez, who came from Kristen's company, who's doing a knockout job. So we've got all of our pieces in place from that standpoint. Although we are in a position now, Craig, where we are starting to see more of an overflow with some of the things that we're doing. And as we go into this next quarter, we're going to start recruiting. So
tell me about how do you recruit? How do you find good people? What's the process?
So, the thing is that there's 45,000 real estate agents in the state of Colorado. So there's a boatload of us already. So what we're doing right now is we're doing a lot of Facebook marketing for inside sales associates and outside sales associates. What happens?
Okay, so inside sales is on the phone making the appointments. Outside sales are out there doing the listing appointments and the buyer appointments. And you train them on how to do all this. You give them the systems and the guidance. So the inside sales people are getting the leads, but your outside sales people are only getting appointments.
Correct. And then they follow the system. They follow the system that we have in place, from the appointment, the presentation, the value, as well as the net equity. I mean, we have a complete process that's been in place for years, that the only changes we make are determined upon market changes, that take place that need to be addressed. So then what happens is that we have on our site, we have a page called wrgcareers.com that they go to. We have a description of what we have. And then when they hit apply now, they go to the Wise Hire site, they do a complete application, they take a disc test, and we can evaluate right up in front if we think.
Right, so you know their strengths, you know your weaknesses. They kind of go through an intake form. Okay, so there's a process in finding the right people, because it's important. You spend so much time with team members that you recruit that you want to make sure that you're bringing on the right people, which is good for everybody. Okay, so pitch me on this then, Bill. I'm a realtor in Aurora, Colorado. I'm in Denver. And I've heard of you, and maybe I'm frustrated because I've lost a lot of listings to you and your team. So pitch me on why should I join you versus just continuing to be a solo agent or joining up with another team in the Denver area?
I can tell you some of the biggest differences. There's a lot of companies out there that say they train, they're going to provide you with a mentor, and really the people that they have in training and mentorship are ill-equipped to handle the job. The thing that's different about us, Craig, is we're coached by you, right? So we are constantly, at least.
Well, that is a good thing.
No, that's a very good thing. You've got to have a business development coach. You can't operate in a vacuum. And the thing that we really appreciate in being part of the Craig Proctor coaching program is that we're always 6 months to 12 months ahead of what the rest of the market is even thinking about doing. So we blow that part away. So that's the big part of it. The second part of it is we're going to provide you with leads and appointments. I mean, you're not really getting that anywhere else. Number three, you're going to learn how to handle that on a phone call. You're going to know the universal callback script to understand timing and motivation. 698 of the most important words that you're ever going to use. And what people don't realize about that callback script, Craig, is it's not just a callback script. If I meet you in the grocery store and I hear that you might be thinking about selling your home, are you thinking about making us
right? It is a universal script. Whether they meet them in a grocery store, at an open house, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Then what happens is we have the marketing pieces in place to secure the fact that when you go on that appointment, you're going to have a presentation that is going to blow the mind of the seller or the buyer, and you're going to know how to handle that appointment in order to secure the client. And it's really that simple. And so when all of those pieces are put together, which I can tell you they're not operating under right now, we have a pre-selling package. When they show up at the appointment, the sellers already know everying about us.
Okay, so you've answered a couple really important questions that people would have as to why they would want to join up with you, partner up with you versus competing against you. So you have the inside sales set and qualify the appointments. The outside sales agent just has to show up to the appointment using your marketing materials, using your presentation. All the pre-marketing is done. They don't have, your team members don't have any of the expenses of running the ads, the marketing. And then once the listing is taken on, the sign goes up, the key is cut, the feature sheets are made. So basically, your outside sales agents are making money all day long. They're just going from appointment to appointment to appointment. Right. So if you're in the Denver area and you'd be interested in having a conversation with Bill, just a conversation, there's no downside. How should they reach out to you to get to know you and ask you about how would this work if I was to partner up with you?
So they can call me directly at 303-842-0836. That's right to my cell. That's 303-842-0836. Or they can email me at bill@watsonrg.com. Again, that's bill@watsonrg.com.
Cool. Yeah. So if you're in Aurora, Colorado, the Denver area, and you don't want to take 25 years of your life to figure this out, you don't have to do that. Bill's already done that for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just partner up with Bill. Two things will happen. I know if you partner up with Bill, two very important things. Thing number one is you're going to make a lot more money net in your pocket, because what you make, you get to keep. Bill takes care of all the expenses. So thing number one is you're going to make net more money in your pocket. Thing number two is you'll spend less time working because Bill has this amazing team doing all the things that you may be doing right now that you no longer have to do. And Bill, you have a vested interest in all the realtors that come and work with you making more. The more money they make, the more money you make. So that's why you're very selective with who you bring on. The thing that we mentioned earlier is in the comments below, okay, we have a download. Bill has created a little bonus gift here where he's included some of his marketing. Like, just download that and check it out. You'll see immediately how Bill effectively markets himself, how powerful that is. And you might be thinking, how do I do that? Well, look, if you want to get more information on me, Craig Proctor, one of the things that you can do is you can book a breakthrough call with me. That's how Bill and I, it started with a conversation, right, Bill? Many years ago. But if you want to book a free, no obligation breakthrough call with me and my team, all you have to do is go to proctorcall.com, my name, proctorcall.com. We'll have a link in the comments for that as well if you want to book a breakthrough call with me. Basically, what we do, Bill, on those breakthrough calls is I ask the realtor a lot of questions about what they're doing, why they're doing it. What I want to find out what they've tried, what they haven't tried. Most real estate agents have a pretty good idea as where they'd like to take their business. They have this vision of where they want to go. So I find out where they are right now and where it is they'd really like to go. And then the obvious question is, well, why aren't you doing that now? Because there's always something holding us back. And so I'm going to help you. If you book a breakthrough call with me, I'll help you identify these obstacles that may be holding you back and show you some things maybe that you're not doing that will really help you actually reach your goals. It's just a conversation. At the end of our 45-minute conversation, if you don't think I can help you, then that's fine. We had a great conversation, got to know each other, and I promise you'll get some great ideas. It's not just a big sales pitch. However, if we blow you away and we give you lots of great ideas and things to think about, you may want to work with us for an extended period, like Bill did. And we would love that. If you would like to hire us and work with us to help coach your business up, that would be great as well. So the domain is proctorcall.com to book your free call with me. And if you're a realtor in the Denver area, you know who Bill Watson is, pick up the phone, give him a call. Give us your number again one more time, Bill.
It's 303-842-0836.
Yeah, and if you want to verify Bill's story, if you're not in a Denver area, but you just you live somewhere else and you want to verify the Bill is the real deal, and you want to know about his experience inside the Craig Proctor system, he'd be happy to share that as well.
Absolutely.
So, Bill, I want to thank you very much for doing this today. I know you're super busy. We'll get you back on the Craig Proctor Show at some point here in the future for some updates. You've been so successful over the years, and especially all the way through COVID here. You keep growing and pushing forward. And now you've got this true family business with your wife and both your sons working with you. So I want to wish you continued success here throughout the year. Thank you so much for doing this interview. And I want to thank everybody for watching